I was going to write this, but apparently Facebook doesn't let you post exceptionally long things. So I wrote it down and I'm going to read it. And it's going to be long, but I never post anything. So this is important. Just listen. I don't normally post things on Facebook, certainly never anything political. I was raised that there are 3 things you don't ever discuss: sex, religion, and politics. But for the past couple weeks, this little nagging voice has been telling me to get this out there. And anytime I have ignored that voice, it's usually to some detriment. I don't know who, if anyone, will see this, but I just can't be quiet any longer. Anyone who truly knows me knows I have made some major bad decisions in my life. I will not go into that because I don't like to air my dirty laundry. Should I be punished for them for the rest of my life? I think no. I have suffered plenty of consequences from them and have made it through, and I will leave it at that. Could they happen to anyone? Absolutely. Have they probably happened to someone you know in this day and age? Definitely. As a result of these choices, I have had to start over in life financially, mentally, emotionally, and physically. I have probably worked every crappy job out there. Just to name a few, I have done fast food, waitressing, warehouse, movie theater, grocery store, house cleaning, and plenty of retail. I went to college and got a 4-year degree, so even at these jobs, I always had that advantage. I have had a lot of blessings in my life, especially recently. I'm finally getting married next year to a wonderful man who loves my children. I have the support of my families, more on that later. I have a roof over my head. I have food to eat. I have 2 beautiful, healthy children. I am an aunt to my nieces and nephews whom I love. I got to travel to my favorite vacation spot for the last 2 years. I feel I have started to turn my life around and things are going well. Now here comes the fun part. I was recently diagnosed with some health issues, quite serious ones, but I have faith and I am working with a specialist. As a result of this, though, I can no longer work until things get under control. Before you not read anymore, before you hear anymore, this is not going to be a GoFundMe or asking for money. I only want to air my grievances and hope that people can hear my story and put an end to the hate that seems to be rampant. There are programs out there for people in my situation. It's obvious that if I'm not working or I'm not making a living wage, which was always the case at my other jobs, I am going to take part in these programs like SNAP and Medicaid. A lot of people have misconceptions about these programs or people on these programs. No, we aren't 29-year-old men laying in our parents' basement refusing to work. We do work. Usually the places we work don't want to pay us the salary that would get us off Medicaid or SNAP, or don't want to give us the hours for full time because that would entitle us to benefits, like insurance. Since the new law went into effect because of this administration, they now put in work requirements. I can understand the reason behind this, trying to get people out there and get them motivated. But there are not all these well-paying full-time jobs floating around like they think. A lot require a full-time college degree, and college is not getting cheaper. So now I have to investigate what hoops I am going to have to jump through to keep my insurance and food. If they wanted to implement these requirements, they need to raise the minimum wage. They need to make childcare affordable. You can't just rip away the safety net without something below to catch you. I'm all for people having to work, but this is not realistic. What will happen to me if this all goes away? Well, currently, as the government is shut down, millions of people on November 1st aren't going to receive their benefits to feed their families. As I said above, I have a family that can support me and go out and buy groceries. What about those that don't? Are they to starve in the interim? What happens if I lose my health insurance? Well, I wouldn't be able to afford the medication I take. I would probably be on dialysis by the end of the year, and if I fail to afford that, I will be dead. I have an 8-year-old girl and a 21-year-old son. I am one person. My fiancé, since they changed the law, now barely makes more than the required amount to keep his insurance. So now after the 1st, he won't have any. And if the ACA tax subsidies expire, he can't afford the $1,500 to $2,000 a month to buy insurance. That's 2 people this is affecting. How many millions more out there have similar stories? How many people are going to have to choose between paying their rent and seeing the doctor? How many mothers are going hungry so their kids can eat? We are fighting the wrong boogeyman. This isn't about Democrats fighting for illegal immigrants to keep their health care. That is a lie you are being told. You are being lied to. I have family members that aren't straight white Anglo-Saxon. They were born here. Their parents were born here. And they are terrified right now. And I mean to the point of tears terrified. These are our neighbors and family members. They work. They pay taxes. They have us fighting amongst ourselves. We should be looking at the corporations who take six-figure salaries but pay $10 an hour. They take weeks and weeks of vacation and make their employees work sick. Every single member of Congress right now is receiving a paycheck for not coming into work. Isn't it possible you are being lied to? This is not cutting waste, fraud, and abuse. This is affecting those of us who need the programs. These people they insisted wouldn't be affected when the new rules went into place. Another lie. For example, everyone was told the new ballroom addition to the White House wasn't going to touch any of the existing structure. It would be completely separate. Look it up. That is straight from the horse's mouth. And now look, there's demolition of quite a bit of the standing structure. No approval from Congress, which was the legal way all renovations had been done by previous administrations. That was another lie told to us. Do you think it's possible there could be other lies? This is not a Democrat versus Republican issue. This is a middle class is disappearing issue. This is a going to start killing and starving poor people issue. They don't want you to be educated so you can see what's really going on. They want to tell you, hate this group of people, hate that group of people. They are stealing your jobs. They hate the Lord. Look at what is right in front of you, people. The richest people in the world are the ones who could do something about this, but they don't. They have you pointing your hatred in the wrong direction. We work and never seem to get anywhere. Groceries are unaffordable. Gas is unaffordable. Housing is unaffordable. That has nothing to do with anything but the richest people in the world keeping the poorest people down. They took away our health care to pay for permanent tax breaks for the wealthiest people. That is not a talking point. That is the law. Look it up. I know you are all angry. I know it feels good to blame and direct that anger at someone or something. I know it feels good to belong to a group, to feel like you are a part of something, like you are making a difference. Yeah, we'll show them. We're all together on this. We hate all those people taking our jobs and health care and getting free handouts. We'll go back to the good old days if we just get rid of them. Like I said, your anger is misplaced. Put it where it really belongs. I don't know what to do about this except put my story out there. I am not lazy. I am not sucking off the government. I have worked my entire life. And like I said, I've made mistakes. But no matter how hard I work, I can't seem to move up in life like how it used to be. This is the story of so many of us right now. And it is not anyone's fault except the ones in charge at the top. Kicking out a certain group of people won't fix what's wrong here. Hating each other won't fix this either. We have to quit fighting amongst ourselves. We can't be content to scrabble over the scraps that they throw us. Healthcare should be a right. We are the richest country in the world. No American children should be starving tonight. No one with mental health issues should be shivering under a bridge in Chicago. Why do we keep putting up with this? And so many of us claim to be Christians, and yet everywhere I look, all I see is hate. Hate for your fellow human being. Am I not a human being? Should I have to apologize the rest of my life for not having a house and a six-figure job by the time I was 24? I put this out there in the hope that maybe people will try to understand. Everyone has a story. We are not all out there sitting around in our parents' basement just loving the free handouts. We are trying. We are grasping at every last opportunity to try to climb out of that situation. I put this out there to help people remember empathy. So many of us are one major financial disaster or major health ailment away from losing it all. We can still be a great country to live in. I love America. I'm not a violent leftist Antifa member. You know me. I am a mother. I am your friend. I'm a sister, an aunt, an American just trying to have the American dream like everybody else. Please, before you write things like, just go get a better job, or just go back to your own country, or too bad, guess you should have made better choices. We are all human beings. We all have problems. We should be acting like Christians. We should be offering to help our fellow human beings in any way we can. We are all in this together. I have a feeling things are about to get very rough in this country. Make sure you are putting the blame where it belongs. Should you be putting it on a single mother who is trying desperately to make ends meet while also desperately holding on to the health she has left and is using the programs put in place to help people in that exact situation? Or should you be blaming the person spending $300 million of who knows whose money to build a huge ballroom and those backing him up during a government shutdown while millions don't know where their next paycheck is coming from? That's up to you. That seems like a simple choice to me. But then I did get an education. They have never been able to pull the wool over my eyes. Quit letting them do it to you. Write to your congressman. Go out and protest. You realize that if all of us decided not to come into those jobs I mentioned above just for one day, or take one day and not buy anything from these stores, that we halt the entire economy? They need us. This is the movie A Bug's Life. The grasshoppers made all the little ants pick all this food for them, and all they had to do was come and eat it. The grasshoppers were terrified that one day the ants would wake up and realize they outnumber the grasshoppers by millions. The grasshoppers needed the ants, not the other way around. We are the ants. It's time for all of us to wake up. Let's take down the grasshoppers, not the other small, different colored ants from the hill next door. And that is all. Just had to put that out there. I don't need any negative comments. Just needed to put that out there. So, bless everyone and have a wonderful rest of your day. Love you all.